Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I know that when war breaks out, the first victim is the truth, but you sometimes don't know exactly when these guys are lying and how much they're lying. Maybe naively, I was under the impression that, when the Ukrainians report Russian missile attack or drone attack, they will kind of tell us the accurate number of missiles that the Russians launched or the drones. I understand the destruction. You don't want to, emphasize that or even mention. But the Russians kept saying at one point that, hey, the Russians destroy missiles that we don't even send, we don't even launch towards Ukraine. So what's going on? I said, yeah, it's okay, but the Ukrainians would like to, maximize or minimize based on the spin they want to give it. The same thing with the Russians. So don't get me wrong. But since we have the Ukrainians here, overnight of the 10th to the 11th of December, the Russians launched I would say, massive attack or significant attack on Ukraine's infrastructure, missiles and drones. This article comes from another article. I have 3 articles actually coming from the Ukrainians, and they report a certain kind of number of drones and missiles. And I have no reason to doubt that that was the number, but then I looked at their reports on the destructions. But they don't call them destructions. They call them now just problems. Like, for instance, they say 50 settlements were without electricity here, 300 consumers without electricity there, all in one night. So by looking at the damages overnight that coincide with the attack, it tells me that 8 missiles that were shot down, would not be able to destroy all this, cause this kind of damage. So by looking at the destruction the Ukrainians report, in the same day the Russians launched missile and drone attacks on Ukraine, the Ukrainians claiming they downed all of them, but you have the big destruction. But they don't call it destruction, they call it just differently. So let me show you here 3 articles. Let's start with the first one. Actually, I'm going to start with this one where they don't... actually, this is the one that this one right here. You see this, Ukrainska Pravda? Over 100 consumers without power due to Russian night attack on Kiev. So this is from 11:31. So on Monday, December 11th. So 11:31, the attacks occurred overnight. So they had time to put together and have the exact number of how many missiles and drones the Russians sent towards Ukraine. But let's see. What do they say here? I say over 100 consumers have been left without power as a result of a missile attack on Kiev on the night of 10 to 11th. Inspection of damaged facility is ongoing. 120 consumers remain without electricity in Kiev as a result of a night attack. In addition, a total of, listen to this, 491, so 500 settlements. Settlements are villages, cities, little towns. They don't tell you the how big they are. Settlements remain without electricity in Ukraine for various reasons. The ministry says these are, in particular, hostilities, technical reasons, and extreme weather. So all over Ukraine is going to be extreme weather, technical reasons, and hostilities. Now, is that a coincidence? Because you're gonna find out there are so many consumers without electricity that it can be overnight. All these technical reasons and extreme weather caused all this. And we're gonna go over a map and we're gonna see where these technical reasons occurred. And I'm about to show you a map that I'm going to use, which is right here, the usual map with Ukrainians and Ukraine and with the front line here with the Russians fighting here. Where is this, I don't know, brick-like color? And let's go back here. So they tell us, Dnipropetrovsk, 140 settlements lost electricity as a result of unfavorable weather conditions. What a coincidence, right? In the morning, the electricity was restored. So 22,600 consumers lost electricity. And Dnipropetrovsk is right here by the front. You see here? This is where Dnipropetrovsk is. So this was 22,000 consumers, 22,600. Donetsk Oblast. Electricity was restored for 10 settlements previously cut off due to hostilities over the course of the past 24 hours. Donetsk. Donetsk is north of or east of Dnipropetrovsk, which is this area right here. Donetsk, right here. All right, let's move on. Zaporozhye Oblast, 28 settlements without electricity. It says these settlements with 144 consumers have been connected to supply, while 63 settlements, about 26,000 people, consumers, houses, remain without electricity due to the hostilities. So this is Zaporozhye Oblast. Zaporozhye Oblast is right here below Dnipropetrovsk. So Dnipropetrovsk, Zaporozhye, and this is Donetsk right here. Kirovohrad Oblast. Electricity was cut off in 7 settlements. So Kirovohrad. Let's see if we find Kirovohrad. Where is that? Because I don't know it by heart. This is where it is. Since I didn't find it on the Russian map, they have different. This is the map. So this is on top of I would say Dnipropetrovsk. So let's see on the map. I didn't find it as that. Is it this one? Kropivnitsky. This is how the Russians call it, right here. This is the one that I found it on Wikipedia as being this one, the location. So it's all they all seem to be located so far in this area right here. This area. All right, let's move on. Mykolaiv Oblast, 123 consumers were cut off. Odessa Oblast, Sumy Oblast, Thermopyl Oblast, Kharkiv Oblast. Look how many they are here. And it says, for instance, here is 16 settlements. Kharkiv Oblast, 44 consumers, not a big. Kherson, 139 consumers. Chernihiv, 12 settlements. Updated. Energy workers restored the power. They don't tell you how many things occurred in all this article, the entire of it. It doesn't show you. I'm going to show you the oblast. It doesn't show you. It doesn't tell you night attack. How many drones? How many missiles? So basically, the Russians destroyed in Chernihiv, Sumy, Kharkiv, Dnipropetrovsk. This is the one that the Russians call it Kropivnitsky, Zaporozhye. Then they said they didn't mention Luhansk, they mentioned Donetsk, they mentioned Kharkiv, they mentioned Mykolaiv and Odessa. So all this was hit. You see this? All this was hit by, I don't know, bad weather and technicalities and some drones. Nothing on this part. Only this one was affected by that. Now let's go and find out. Remember that article did not tell you any numbers about how many drones, how many missiles. We're going to go to the next article from the same publication, Ukrainska Pravda. Ukrainian air defenses destroy 8 missiles heading towards Kiev. So now in Kiev, remember they said something, they attacked Kiev, they did something. All right, 8 missiles. They destroyed 8 out of how many? Earlier reports from the Ukrainian Air Forces have indicated that air defenses have brought down 8 Russian missiles heading towards Kiev. So at 4 o'clock a.m. it happened. Remember the first article right here? Night attack, it was 11:31, almost midday, let's put it this way. So it was what? 7 hours after the attack, because they say here it started at 4 o'clock, and they didn't tell us how many missiles. Air defenses destroyed a total of 8 air targets flying towards the capital following a ballistic trajectory, whatever. 4:15 on 11, pop, missiles down. The missiles, it says the wreckage of the missiles down had crashed in the capital districts, leading to damage and casualties, and that some emergency and medical dispatches. Well, these missiles, when they come towards a town, the mighty Patriot systems, how far did they hit them before they show up? Because I don't think these Patriot systems, being the best in the world, they hit it just, how would I put it, not even a second over the city. It seems like these missiles are almost always destroyed over the city, and their debris fall and they cause damages. They somehow are incapable of hitting, let's say, 10 miles before they reach the city. Why is this possible like that? Why is it like that? I mean, really, what is the radius of a Patriot system? 100 miles or something like this, or 80 miles? So from the position where they are located, there should be a radius of 80 miles before they reach. Kiev is not 80 miles in a straight line, okay, as a territory, let's put it this way. Why don't they fall before? Why, they can intercept them 80 miles, their radar doesn't go, 150 miles. I'm using miles. It seems like they all fall over there, like, oh, it's right here, right here. It's not like you see it and you shoot it down. You don't see it, the radar intercepts it, and the air defense hits them somewhere you don't see them. But somehow they all fall in the city. Another garbage. I mean, for me, that means no, I'm skeptical. I think that actually those missiles, some of them might have hit the target. But again, they think that we're tards. And most of them are. So you see here, and then nothing more. They say only about 8. And now we go to the real article where they tell us how many, according to the Ukrainians, the Russians sent. Ukrinform, look at the time, 7:29 a.m. So at 7:29 a.m. they knew exactly how many the Russians sent. 8 enemy ballistic missiles, 18 Shahed drones downed over Ukraine. So these were downed out of how many? 150 missiles and 3,000 Shahed drones? I don't know. Let's read. Let's see if they tell us. If they don't tell us, that means I suspect that's 8 ballistic missiles downed, and probably they don't want to tell you how many escaped, evaded the air defense systems. Last night, Russian troops attacked Ukraine territory so they attacked with 8 ballistic missiles, and they downed 8 ballistic missiles and 18 Shahed type loitering munitions. Ukraine's air defense units destroyed all enemy targets. Okay, thank you. So the Russians sent 8 and 18, and these guys destroyed everything, but we have this one right here, right? With how many people? They said 2,000 something only in the Dnipropetrovsk. What they say, 500 settlements remain without electricity, but hey, they destroyed all enemy targets. Okay, on the night of December, they did this, and they say the temporary occupied, BBB, boo boo boo. Who are those guys? All enemy drones were intercepted, okay, within the control area of the South Air Command. Most of them were down over Mykolaiv region. So Mykolaiv region is in the south right here by Odessa. So this is where they said they attacked right here, and they were all downed. That's what they say, right? The enemy drones. Around 4 o'clock a.m., Russia fired 8 ballistic missiles to the Kiev region. The enemy attack came from the northern direction, presumably Russia's Bryansk region. All enemy targets were destroyed by the surface-to-air missile units of the command. So the missiles, according to the Russians, to the Ukrainians, attacked Kiev from the north, Bryansk, from the north area. No, I didn't say Bryansk. What the hell was that? Not Bryansk, but Bryansk. Presumably Bryansk. But Bryansk. Wait a minute. Yeah, Bryansk is somewhere in the north anyway. So from Bryansk, Kiev, this is where the missiles attacked, and then in the south, right here, supposedly were attacked by drones. Nikolaev, right here. So how about the rest? The rest of the front they reported. Who attacked that? Who destroyed that? The weather? The technical? I've never read anything before now that the Ukrainians have technical problems because of the weather last year. Is it such a bad weather now over there that anyway, I don't know. It's just I'm asking questions because I don't believe either side here, any side, let's put it this way, until I'm satisfying myself not that way with the information, and I'm able to verify it and logically put together. And here they tell me 500 settlements without electricity, and they're telling me all drones and missiles were destroyed, and just some debris fell and nothing to see. I think it was more than that. I suspect, and I will leave a big palace door open to this guy's reporting next time. Actually, it was not 8 and 18. It was, I don't know, 35 and 59. We'll find out. But this is the way I look at this. And unless you believe the Ukrainians or the Russians fully, 100%, then that's exactly what happened. Those guys just have difficulties, and they tell the truth. Technical difficulties. The weather blew hard on the 11th in the overnight, and the Russians attacked Mykolaiv over there in the south, the Kiev a little bit. We destroyed everything, and just the debris fell over the city, but I don't know how. Just we hit them just over the city. That's why the debris fell over there. Let me take my and give you a Paganini piece here. All right, my friends, here it is. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.